one that's very unpleasant, okay?
Okay.
And he's also the one that had another girlfriend while he was sleeping with you.
Yes, he did.
Greetings, everybody. Greetings.
Put to God.
How's everybody doing today?
Bless up.
I'm good. How are you?
Welcome back. Well, I'm good. Had a very productive day. The day is not done, and I still got more things I gotta complete. So had a pretty good day. Relaxed, spent time with the family. A good day.
Good.
It's November.
Welcome back.
November.
Yeah. We are in November. Thanksgiving is on the way.
Yeah. Remind you how much family you have.
For sure. Welcome back, everyone, to Gwan, as we discuss things that are just subjects that we come across in life that we think is interesting, and we have a perspective we can add. Today's subject is polygamy. And while we don't see it often, polygamy is actually a way of life that is practiced all around the world, even here in these United States. So sit tight, stay tuned, and let's get into it. Ali. Ali accent free. How you doing, brother?
Nice.
Are you for or against polygamy?
I'm 1,000% for it.
Really? Tell us what's polygamy.
Polygamy is actually, I shouldn't say I'm for polygamy. I'm for polygyny, which is the practice of a man having multiple wives.
Polygyny. Okay.
Polygamy is poly and marriage, multiple, but it goes both ways. Like where a man can have multiple wives or a woman can have multiple husbands.
Wait a minute. So you're saying you're for men having multiple wives. You're not for women having multiple men?
In certain societies, but not in this one. No.
In which societies do you think you can agree with that?
In a society like that was practiced in ancient China or in some villages in Africa where men outnumber women. And therefore, if there are multiple men left without a partner, more likely bad things are going to happen, such as rapes, aggravation, just a man being an involuntary celibate. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that, incels.
No, what is that?
It's involuntary celibacy, meaning like you're not able to get any. You want some, but you're not able to get any, whether it's because of attraction, not having skills in talking to women or men. It's usually men, though, that are involuntarily celibate.
Got you.
And that's where prostitutes come into play and stuff like that. They can buy their peace.
So why then in these societies, why then can't we have male prostitutes? In our world, women outnumber men something like 10-1. Why can't we have, in those worlds where men outnumber women, we have men prostitutes?
You can definitely. You know what I mean? And prostitution is just becoming kind of legal now, in the sense where before a woman would get locked up for that, and now she can be a sex worker and sell on her own if she wants.
What's your take on locked up if they get caught? I don't think it's legal yet.
In New York it is. I believe it's legal in New York. I believe prostitution
is legal in New York?
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm hearing this.
Yeah. What is your take on it? How do you feel about what I'm saying? Looking at a group as a whole as instead of with an individual goal of like a woman saying, you know what, I'm going to keep this good man all to myself and I'm not sharing him. How do you feel about that?
Prostitution is not legal in New York, brother. In New York, prostitution is a Class B felony. Class B misdemeanor, punishable by up to 3 months in jail and a fine of $500. So prostitution is not legal.
What's that? Okay.
How do I feel about polygamy or polygyny? I don't have an opinion on that. I think if you're a man and you want multiple women, if everyone is on the same page, go ahead and do you. If you're a woman and you want to have multiple men and all the guys understand that they are not the only ones, then who am I? They're consenting adults. I mean, every guy, a lot of guys, let me not say every guy, a lot of guys out there have multiple women, whether they're married to them or not married to them. So, and I don't think it has anything to do with the makeup of the population being women outnumber men 10-1. I think some men just have that urge or whatever to have multiple partners. There are women out there who functions the same way. Some of them even get married and still, step out of their relationship. So I think if everyone understands what's going on now, I think polygamy or polygyny implies that everyone involved in the relationship is aware of everyone. So I take that back, because a man could marry multiple women in different states and nobody knows. But as long as everyone in the situation knows and agrees to whatever the situation is, then to each his own. That's how I feel about it. Rochelle, talk about the thing. You sound like you're bubbling inside.
Hold on, really quickly. Hold on, really quickly. April 21st, 2021, Manhattan to stop prosecuting prostitution, part of nationwide shift. The district attorney, Cyrus R. Vance Jr., moved to dismiss thousands of cases dating back decades amid a growing movement to change the criminal justice system's approach to prostitution. New York Times, April 21st this year. I just sent you guys a...
Yeah, but I don't think that means the laws changed. I think the prosecution probably made some decisions, but the law itself didn't change. Like they can have laws on the books, but they're not executing the laws.
Right.
Yeah, just like they were saying recently, New York police, they're no longer stopping people for like minor traffic offenses.
Right. And the same thing with marijuana. With marijuana, the states can say it's legal, but it's still not federally approved. Like, it's still illegal federally, right? Okay.
And even if it's not legal in the state, like the state can decide, because I don't think marijuana is legal in New York, but they had reduced if the amount that you would need to have to be prosecuted, or they had changed the laws a little bit, with regards to marijuana to make it less of a crime to be prosecuted.
Yeah.
But yes, Rochelle, polygyny or polygamy, how do you feel?
So, I know you gentlemen are going to be very upset with me with my take on this. I believe that anything a woman can do anything a man can do, a woman can do it too, right? Men may not agree with me, and that is okay. I believe if you have the financial means to do something and you have that mental capacity to deal with all of that, then by no means you should stop. Right? I believe in our new society where women are now making money just like their male counterparts, right? And if a man can afford 2 wives and the women don't mind, or 3 wives and the women don't mind, and they all get along happily in a home, if a woman finds 2 men or 3 men or how many, whatever, that she is able to financially support and she has that mental capacity to handle all of that, why not? Go do you, sis. Go do you, right? And I think in a from a Christian point of view, I don't believe in it at all, because I see the problem that Abraham was in. I see the problem Solomon got into. I see the problem that David got into because of polygamy. So based on my biblical experience, I know it's not the best or the most ideal. However, if we are going to not look at it from a Christian point of view, if you're able to do so, nothing should stop you. Go ahead and do whatever you want to do. That's how I feel about this topic so far.
Well, that's kind of how I feel as well, right? I feel like whatever a man can do, a woman can do. That's why I said as long as each party is aware, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not one of those guys that think men should do certain things that women shouldn't do, and women should do certain things that men shouldn't do. I'm not one of those guys. I didn't bring up the biblical part of this subject because to me this isn't a biblical subject. But as it relates to problems that individuals can have, as you know, look, people are jealous, right? Men are jealous, women are jealous, people are jealous. And like we talked about in one of our episodes where Sean mentioned 50-50 in a relationship, right? And I think 50-50 is extremely difficult to achieve because that implies that I have to agree to do or to agree with things that I don't agree with. Mm-hmm. And same thing with this polygamy/polygyny conversation. People are selfish. People are jealous. And it takes a strong man and a strong woman to see your man with another woman, or we're in 2021. See a man with another man, right? or you're a woman with another woman, because for a guy, right? Let's say your girl comes home one day and she brings home a girl, right, Ali? Most guys would have been like, "Oh, hell yeah," right? Right, Ali? Come on. You're gonna be like, "Hell yeah," right? Your girl brings home a girl.
Target neutralized.
Right? You're lying. Don't lie to the people, Baba. Don't lie to the people, Baba.
I get the truth.
So, you want to make the decision?
Of course.
Oh, so not them? You have to make that decision?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I want to say
why
that
she can't choose. Why are you the only one that's able to choose?
I want to rewind back to something you said.
Sure.
The amount of jealousy and all of that. There is jealousy in Christian relationships, monogamous relationships. There's jealousy in all those things. Now, I want you to actually think of the reverse. Imagine if you're talking to your partner and you take jealousy off the table. Yo, there is no way I could cheat on you. You don't have to worry about me cheating on you because I'm going to be honest with you. Imagine the freedom that brings when you take off jealousy. That's a different type of freedom when you think damn, you know what? I don't own this person, but I love this person. Women are equal in value. They are not equal in function. If you think a woman could do anything a man could do, then tell your wife to lead and you'll follow. If you
There are
think
instances when she does lead,
but no, tell her to do it completely. If you believe that she can do the job and she's just as good as doing it as you, then you give her the job. If you believe that a woman can do anything a man could do, then tell him to be standing up. We are equal in value. We are not equal in function.
I agree with you to a point because we're equal, absolutely. And there are certain things that I do need a man for. But just like that, there are certain things a man needs a woman for. So if we're going to go for that, there are certain things that a man cannot do that only a woman can offer. It goes both ways. Okay. All right. I just want to make sure it goes both ways. Okay.
You know what I'm not able to do? One time I was driving with my girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was and this is the biggest example of like what a man and a woman can do. I was driving 18 hours straight from New York to Florida off 2 monsters. And I wanted to make the trip straight, and I was just going straight. I didn't care. I was just like, I'm going to do this 18 hours straight. I did it. But my point is, I was focused on the road and not crashing. And my girl looked over to me and she said, oh my God, look at the scenery. Look how beautiful it was. And the moment she said that, I took it all in. I wasn't able to see it until she had brought it up to me. And I was like, this is crazy how a woman is so powerful. We as men build the roads, but we do it for women. You know what I mean? The women are the beauty in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Rochelle?
Mm-hmm.
Can you pee standing?
Can I do it?
Can you pee while standing?
Yes. They actually have a cup that you can use to pee standing. There are now ways for you to do that. Now, you didn't ask if I needed assistance, but women can now pee standing up. Yes. Yes.
They can now pee standing up?
Yes.
They can now. They couldn't pee standing up before?
We could.
There was a time when women
couldn't. Are you talking about full standing up? Like the way a man was in a urinal? Dude,
so listen. You mentioned women can't pee standing or tell a woman to pee standing up. Most women pee in the shower standing. They don't stoop in the shower and pee. If they pee in the shower. Okay? So women can stand and pee. That's the first thing. That's the first thing.
Do I have to say a urinal?
You didn't specify.
Well, that's true.
Okay,
so that's the first thing. That's the first thing.
That don't even count because we are specified now, so that doesn't count anymore. Tell me the first thing again.
Second thing. Okay, so now the first thing, since you took that one off the table. The first thing. Rochelle, you're a single mom, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Who's leading you?
God.
Who?
God.
Is he a man? Is God a man or a woman?
We don't know.
That was a joke. That was a joke. No. That was a joke. Don't go into it. That was a joke. I brought it up.
God is a man according to the Bible.
No.
That's debatable. Now,
the Father.
That's true. He does say Father. You're right. You got a point there. So as it relates to leading, I think women can lead as well as men can. I think there are some things that are innate to men that are not innate to women, and some things that are innate to women that are not innate to men. However, that said, I think that both can do the same thing. Both can learn to do the same thing. This woman intuition, men have it too. We've just been inculcated to disregard our intuition. But men have the same intuition women have. So as it relates to leading, in my relationship, there are some things that she will lead in, and then there are some things that I would lead in. It's like there is no set role in our relationship. We do whatever makes sense. That's what we do. Whatever makes sense. If it makes sense, if it makes sense and it's her suggestion, we're doing it. If it makes sense and it's my suggestion, we're doing it. That's what I think. That's what I think being intelligent is. Not, oh, we got to do what I say because I'm the man and I got to lead this house. Nah, whatever makes sense is what we go with. Period. And so if I decide that I want to have multiple wives, right? What if one of my wives is a psychology educated person, right? So I don't know if she wants to be a professor or she's a doctor, whatever, right? And so we're having a lot of back and forth discussions in the house. And she understands the dynamics of the characters in the house. I should tell everybody in the house, I'm the man, y'all got to listen to me. Nah, whatever makes sense is what we got to go with.
But I feel,
that's my opinion.
But I feel like it could be a mutual understanding as well, right? It doesn't have to be one or the other. It can be both of us sitting down making mutual decisions, right?
Well, that's what I said. That's how my household works. We both sit down and we make our decisions together.
Right. Okay.
Okay. I think that true femininity seeks for true masculinity to lead.
True.
You know what I mean? So even though you and your wife may be in a calm situation, I think that true femininity seeks for true masculinity to lead. So even though you and your wife, Dre, you may be like, yo, the decision may be, yo, what are you eating tonight? And your wife decides or something like that, or something as big as the school that the kids are going to go to, she decides. That's very different from, okay, our lives are in danger, we're lost right now. Who's going to get us out of this situation? You know what I mean? So one thing I can say about masculinity is that men are better with directions. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say there's not a woman out there that isn't great with directions. But I'm just saying from a general understanding of what I have with human beings, men seem to need to lean less on technology to find things. I'm going to go out on that one and say that.
And because of that, we are genetically disposed to lead because we can't find things without technology.
I mean,
if you're not using Bible,
the Bible tells man to lead. So what are you going by? Whose book are you going by when you're saying a man shouldn't lead? Again,
I am not having a biblical conversation right here. I'm having a conversation about men and women. And first off, we kind of went off subject a bit because we're talking about polygyny and polygamy, not men leading. But if we're having a biblical conversation, the Bible does say a man should lead. But I think any intelligent leader seeks the counsel of the folks he's leading, even if he's the one making the decision.
Agreed.
So again, back to what I said, my wife and I, we sit down and and we make our decisions together. Period.
Okay, but in the face of danger, would she turn to you, or would
I
she
gotta
make
step
the
up?
decision?
Yes. Of
okay.
course. I step up.
So
okay.
Okay.
But that's like 1 in a million times, bro. Like most people don't face danger in like this. We're not living in the cave times where we gotta, run from the bear and the lion. And so I gotta be their protector.
Or even people. All right,
Or
so
even
Rochelle, what do you suggest that we do? There's men that are gay. There are women that are gay. There are men that beat women. There are men that are incarcerated. There are men that come out of jail and are bisexual or beat women. There's a lack of black men, is what I'm trying to say. Men of African descent. Right now, as the numbers is, I just saw a record that said women outnumber men 10 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you take one good man, what do you suggest? And there's 9 other single women left. What do you suggest that they do? Should they get with each other and we shouldn't care about them as a group, or what?
I believe that
the children are our future.
Right. No, that's actually a fact. The children are the future.
And what will happen to those other 9 women if we say, you know what, let's forget about them. We don't care about them.
It doesn't matter if we don't care about them, but I do believe that you can go younger, you can go older. So is that 10 to 1 for your age range, or is it 10 to 1 in general? We don't know. That's why women can date.
It's in general.
Okay, but what I'm saying is that some women you can date younger guys, you can date older guys. Like, it's okay, right? Because guaranteed, a lot of some women don't necessarily want a partner anyway, right? So even though it's 10 to 1, not every woman really wants to settle down and just be stuck with one man her whole life through thick and thin and happiness. And no, they don't have the time for that either.
Saying she want to be a side piece then?
I never said that. Maybe she just don't want to deal with a man, period. Right? So I feel like it will work itself out.
Those numbers. Let's cancel out all the women that don't want to be with a man, or all the men that don't want to be with a woman. And let's say we're still at 10 to 1. There's still 9 women. There's still 9 women that are single and want a man, and you have their one man.
You know what? I ain't gonna share my man for nothing. So I don't know what's gonna happen for those other women.
That's true. And now, what are the chances that you and this man will grow old together and nobody will cheat on each other?
No, nothing is
guaranteed. Man won't cheat.
Nothing is guaranteed. The only thing guaranteed is death. Nothing else is guaranteed.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. What's your suggestion, Dre? Because I didn't hear Rochelle give me any answers.
Well,
9. What should 9 single women do to every one man? One good man. Let's call it one good black man.
I think if the number is 10 to 1, right? And which I think it actually is more than 10 to 1. If the number is 10 to 1,
especially if you're in Atlanta.
Exactly. Well, a bunch of places. But if the number is 10 to 1, right? I think after the 1 gets her 1, right? And there are 9 still sitting, usually single women kind of, flock together. Maybe those single women, and I never thought about this before until you just brought it up, but maybe those 9 single women should say, hey, why don't we, if they have no. So they come together and say, us 3 or us 5, let's pick one guy. And which guy, again, like I said in the beginning, I think 90% of men, maybe 95, 98 even % of men, if they see a girl that they like and she say, hey, I like you, I want us to be together, but I got 3 girlfriends and we're all single and we're wondering if we can all date you. I think 98% of guys would probably run with that.
Yo, I definitely agree with that.
So I'm saying,
Dre, honestly, knowing the nature of women, if this man, honestly,
It ain't gonna
if this
happen.
man, no, hold on. If this man has enough money and he can take that yang in his ears, like, I need more time, I need more affection. Why you have to go over there tonight? I want you over here tonight. But if he's ready to put up with that, kudos.
But why,
to him.
Rochelle, why do you think every woman would argue?
It's not arguing. Women love attention. Period. That's not even
But remember,
our
there's
choice.
5 love languages. Women love different things.
Yes, hold on. And guess what? Listen, women love attention. Whether the love languages, I get it. Hugging, you want someone to give you presents, whatever, it's still attention. Women love attention. So if that man can split himself 3 ways and 3 equal parts to say, all right, I'm going to spend 3 hours with you, 3 hours with you, 3 hours with you, and he's not going to be mad when one person mad because last night you went over there, you spent 3 hours there, but tonight you want to come give me 2.5, and how you perform, and I hear you give great performance over that room, but over here the performance not too good. It's going to be a problem. Right? And I hear you buy her this for how you didn't buy me, and I want this because, you know, I am better and blah, blah, blah. It's going to, trust me. If that man is able to put up with that and still have his job where he's functioning at 100%, ooh, I'm ready to find that man. Send that man to me because I'm ready.
All right,
Okay,
let me bring
saying.
up one other point also.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people think that they are monogamous because they date one person at a time.
So how would you know if
when monogamy was created, it wasn't about just dating one person at a time. You lost your virginity to this person. You lived with this person. You have sex with 2, 3, 5 people in your lifetime. Yes, you could claim monogamous. You having sex with 20, 30, 40, 50 people, me included, even if it's one at a time, that is not monogamy. And a lot of people think they're monogamous because they have sex with one person at a time. But that could mean you have sex with 8 people in a year. You could break up with somebody every 2 years and in a new relationship. You think you're monogamous, but you're not. Your energy done been shared with too many people. And that's what I'm going to preach to my daughter and my son. Don't give your energy, your sexual energy, to everybody. Everybody don't deserve it.
But you believe in polygamy, so therefore the energy has to be there, though.
So here, when you think of polygamy, you probably, or polygyny, you're thinking sleep with a different woman every night. Sleep with a different woman. Sleep with 3 different, multiple women, 20, 40. No, we're talking about the same 2 women, the same 3 women, the same 4 women over a lifetime. And
okay, so
another thing.
So you're sticking with these people. You're not moving on to anybody else. You're just staying with them.
No. And another thing, I'm going to stop talking after this. Another thing, I know you think of a concept of, yo, this is where the man better be rich. But what if we adjust to today's times and the man isn't rich and the woman is able to add to the value of the whole situation as opposed to taking away? And I'm not saying that a man shouldn't be wealthy to do that, but I'm trying to push and challenge you guys to think of, what if a woman does this and she's not only doing it for financial gain, for financial security, but she's doing it because she'd rather have a piece of a man than go through her whole life and be single her whole life.
What kind of goal is on this man for me to want to be, let me just get a piece of you? No, I want to see the man. Like I'm saying, what really is this man offering? For me, and this is me, if a man has enough money, that is the only reason I think women would want to share a man. Unless he has body parts that can do immaculate conceptional things, right? Like, it has to be one or the other. Like, he has to be bringing something exceptional to the table. He can't be no regular average Joe over here and trying to be what? No.
Why not?
Why? Why?
So, okay, so say he's a regular average Joe.
Yeah.
And he don't have any exceptional money.
So yeah, he don't have no. He has to have. He has to have something exceptional for women
say it's
to be
not
doing
the
that.
money. Okay, say it's not the money. He don't have money. And this is what I believe too. I believe also that a man should also provide for a woman. I don't necessarily believe in signing papers to get married because there's a lot of tricks and traps for men with that. But I believe that a man should put a woman in a situation where if they were to walk away at any point and say this relationship is no longer serving me, they would not be financially hurt and they would not be financially pushed back. I believe that a man should get money with his woman and 50-50 as far as like if we start this business together, even if we break up, you got 50% of this business that we started together and nobody could take that away from you. I'll buy you a house. Even if we break up, you have this house for the rest of your life and you're good. You know what I'm saying?
What kind of muscle confusion you're coming with here? When we were talking about child support, you and Sean was talking disparagingly about the Amazon guy wife, right? You guys are saying, oh, she's only the richest woman alive because she divorced, what's his name? Jeff Bezos, right? Hold on. You were saying, you guys were talking as if she didn't deserve it. Now you're saying you and this woman build a business, which when Jeff Bezos and his wife got married, Amazon did not exist, right? So for all intents and purposes, they built it together. But they get divorced, and you guys are saying she doesn't deserve half. Now you come on the podcast, and you're saying, oh, if we build a business together, you get half. Like, decide which one. Stop with the muscle confusion around here, brother.
Okay, so I think what I said was that the richest woman became rich by getting a divorce, which is very different from saying, hey, baby, we're starting this business together, so if we break up, you own half of this business.
Well,
I don't believe
that. That's what happened with Jeff Bezos and his wife.
I'm not sure that's what happened, but I am sure that the divorce is what got her a percentage of her money. You understand? And that's different from the dynamic of this business is half of yours and half of mine. And if you decide to walk away from me at any point in time, you can sell your half of the business and you won't be financially scarred by our relationship. That is very different than the court ordering you a percentage and now it looked like, yo, Jeff, she just taking money. You know what I'm saying? But does she deserve that? Yeah, she does. She definitely does deserve it because she held them down in ways that we'll never know. You know what I mean? And I'm sure he made that in 2 days. You know what I'm saying? So that doesn't really matter to him. But money is a big part of family, is a big part of family, is a business. Money is a big part of family. Family is a business, and it should be treated as such. The same way I think a man should lead is the same way I believe he should set that woman up for success, even if she doesn't want him anymore.
How do you do that? How do you set up a woman for success when your perspective is when we get married, your focus is the family and my focus is my passion. So if she's focused on the family, that means she isn't out there building a business because you want her home focusing on the family. So how does she or you set her up for success? Just in case you guys don't make it.
Okay, and this is where a beautiful part of polygamy comes in too. Polygyny. Say you have 2 wives, right? And one of the wives is a psychologist. No, let's say one of the wives is an amazing cook. You have your job, one of the wives is an amazing cook, and the other wife is a good teacher. And say you're homeschooling your kids. Or let's not say you're homeschooling your kids, but just say your kids come home. When you have the dynamic of two people, you have 48 hours in a day. When you have the dynamic of three people, you triple that. You have 72 hours in a day now. And therefore, tasks can be delegated to each person, and therefore each person gets more quality time, and you actually have more time. I don't know if that makes any sense. Secondly, when your passion is your passion, Dre, that just because you have a passion, that doesn't mean that you're not able to start a business with your wife that you guys can split. That does not mean that. Your passion doesn't mean that your wife is not important anymore. Your wife can still be important, but your passion is number one. That's what you're spending the most time with. Because if you spend the most time with your wives or wife and not your passion, then you will start to see your money disappear. And those women may not necessarily find you as fit to be king for them anymore.
So I was speaking in relation to what you said in a past episode. You said a woman is supposed to focus on the family, and if she's focused on the family, she isn't chasing a business or chasing higher education. She's focused on the family. I remember that's what you guys said.
Yeah,
now,
go on.
Also, you mentioned, like I said, when we were having the discussion about child support, you mentioned we mentioned the female billionaires or richest females on the planet got their money from a divorce, which is, I guess, a statement. Okay, in America, I guess it's a statement of fact, but you guys were making it sound as though she didn't deserve, or the woman didn't deserve what they got. When especially the Jeff Bezos case, he wasn't rich when she met him, when they were married. You understand what I'm saying? And as a matter of fact, I'm looking at businessinsider.com. It's saying Mackenzie Bezos played a big role in the founding of Amazon. So she did deserve the half she got.
Yeah, but who knows if she didn't deserve more than that? What if that was
That's true. But when we were having the conversation, you know, she didn't get the benefit of the doubt. That I'm saying she should have been afforded now. And I'm saying thank you for you were the one that was championing this, Rochelle, a couple episodes ago as well. So you know, look, I think if we're going back to the conversation of polygamy or polygyny, I think this is simple. Obviously, it's not the norm here in the West, right? Although the Mormons are practicing it.
Having a side chick is normal.
Well, so a side chick is not polygamy or polygyny. A side chick is still monogamy, right? So, like a person stepping out on a monogamous relationship. Right. So it's not the same. So yes, you're right. A side chick is normal here. But that is because just like Rochelle said, most women aren't trying, like, because we, like the society we grew up in, brother, the society we grew up in taught us that woman get her man and she has her man, period. Right? And that's the it's sort of like if I told you, Ali, you know what? Tomorrow, when you are getting just put on a diaper, would you put it on instead of your underwear? No. But what if? Right, exactly. But what if there is a group of people who think, you know what? I can sit at my desk and be super productive and work, 7 hours out of the day. I don't have to get up and go to the bathroom. I can work
production time
continuously, for 7 hours, because I'm wearing my diapers. You would look at that as, yes, you're crazy. You're insane, right? So it's the same way the women in the West.
7 hours.
Huh?
I said exactly. I could hold my pee for 7 hours.
But you just said you wouldn't do it.
She said a UTI. Men get that? I don't think men get that.
Yes,
hold on,
men
Grace. Really quickly,
too.
I want to touch back on your other subject of your other question because I didn't get to answer that. You said if a woman's primary focus is supposed to be her family, then how does she have the time to start a business? As you know from having 3 children, there are different levels of parenting. And you know that the older the child gets, the less hands-on you have to be. And so what can a woman do with all of that time? She could run your business for you, just like Pepper did for Tony Stark. He
Pepper
actually
didn't have kids.
Say it again?
Pepper didn't have kids.
Pepper
was his assistant before.
And also, you know what? Also, you'll have to, at one point in time, wake up at 12 in the night, 3 in the night to watch your child. And then at another point in time, they won't even want to look at you. So life.
The children or your wife? Which one?
The children. The children.
Oh, okay.
You're funny.
I was going to say both.
You just said they. I got to know who they is.
Yeah, so as the children get older, the wife's time will free up, and therefore she can put that into maybe going back to college or...
But what if she divorced? What if y'all get divorced before that? And while I was there focusing on the kids and not able to focus on my passion because the kids took up running the house and the kids took up most of my time because my husband said, I got to focus on the family, right? Now we're divorced and you're a billionaire. What I get? Nothing? Just what I came in the relationship with?
This is when you got to be selective with your partner. If you are selective with your partner, if you are grateful to your partner, that situation will never be you.
Where you get that from? How you know the guy just didn't, he's rich now, and he's like, yo, I got supermodels hollering at me. And so he starts picking at everything his current wife starts to do. Oh, why you can't cook? You should lose some weight. Why you always nagging me? Nagging you? All I ask you is what you want for dinner. This stuff happens.
Guess what?
This stuff happens. Yeah.
Guess what?
Yeah.
If that man who is now a super earner had a second wife, he would pick on that first wife a lot less.
What? He would pick on her more.
No.
Especially if you want to go spend time with the other one. No. Then he's going to find every reason.
So I got to agree with Ali on this one. Because when men have multiple women, they stress each woman less. I think, I could be wrong.
Thank you, Dre.
I think they stress each. Hold on, don't count your winnings too early. They stress each woman.
Less.
They stress each woman less. I think. However, he is going to spend a lot more time on the newer girl than the older girl.
Mm-hmm.
And so the older girl is still going to end up in the predicament where she wants to leave the relationship because she ain't, like Rochelle pointed out, a couple minutes ago, she's not going to be feeling like she's getting her just due. Because he's been with this wife since before I got money. They've had sexual experiences, and he now knows her, right? If we're in the biblical sense, he now knows her, right? He doesn't know this new wife, so he's gonna spend a lot of time getting to know this new wife, and this new wife knows that there's an older wife, right?
She'll have a bad one over here. And so she is going to make sure she is taking this man to the moon.
Mercy. To take him away.
Every single chance she can get. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly. So I think while I agree with you, I agree with Rochelle as well. It's hard to please multiple women.
Guess what?
Yeah.
Sometimes the new dog that don't know the old tricks for the old dog, no.
Yeah, but when it comes to women, most times people don't want old tricks. They want new ones. That's why Ben always looking for the other girl.
It's not just about sex. Like, sometimes a woman can be your confidant. She can make sense out of things that don't make sense. Other times, another woman she just gets your blood racing sexually. Let me ask you a question, Rochelle. Do you eat the same food every day?
No, I love new things every day.
Oh, okay. All right.
So you want multiple man, Rochelle? That's where he's taking this conversation.
No. So let me bring it back.
All right, Rochelle, I want you to eat some stewed chicken every day for the rest of your life.
No. Hold on. I'm happy you used that definition because, I love chicken. And if I love chicken, then one day it can be jerk, right? One day it can be curry. One day it can be brown stew. One day we can do general style. One day it can be Singapore noodle. One day it can be chicken lo mein. One day it can be fried. So that person.
That's too many.
Hold on.
That's too many.
No. So that one person can definitely, that chicken can be done in a different way every day, 365 days a year. Okay? So, yes, sir.
I agree with her. I agree with her on that.
Okay, thank you.
But let me say this. Let me also...
No. Go ahead. I want to touch on this. Go ahead.
Okay. Women take 9 months to create a life, and they are born with as many eggs as they'll ever have in their life. A man can get a woman pregnant every day for the rest of his life. We recreate new sperm every day.
Okay.
Why did God put more women on the earth and less men on the earth? Go on, Dre. Just some things to think about.
Couple of things. So,
jerk chicken.
Yes. let me ask you a question, Mr. Barber.
Yeah.
You have been in a relationship with your current partner for a couple of years, correct?
A relationship? No, I would say I got into one this year.
Oh, Jesus. So you have been in an entanglement with this individual for a couple of years, correct?
Situationship.
Correct. You've been in a situationship with this partner for a couple of years, correct?
Yeah.
Rochelle just mentioned 12 different ways to cook chicken. You're telling me your sex life is 12 characteristically spicy?
As far as me and what I'm giving? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm asking you if your relationship, as it relates to, so let me clarify. When you said all these chickens and we're describing chickens, were we talking sexually or were we talking just in the relationship in general?
The way I took it is Rochelle meant she can put on different wigs and look different ways to spice it up for her man. That's the way I took it.
So this is the relationship we're talking about, not sex, right?
It can be both. It can be both.
I think with a person, it could be both, yes.
Okay. So most people go out on a limb and say most people don't have this interesting relationship going on, like y'all are saying. Because
but
if they did,
it doesn't mean it can't be achieved.
Okay, so Rochelle, you always are coming with some almost impossible hypotheticals when we're having conversations. So Ali and I are being realistic, and you're coming with unicorns. What can be achieved? Listen, perfection can be achieved. It's usually not. Okay? 50% of marriages end in a divorce. 50%. So we have 10 women to one man. Each woman is marrying one man. And then half of those marriages are ending. Here's a question. If those marriages had multiple women, Ali, do you think those marriages still end?
I think that's why the marriages end, because of the multiple women.
If they were truly understanding and they let go of the shackles that I can own a man all to myself, if they truly let go of that idea that I can own a person, then yes, I think it would be better. And if the man can be completely honest at all times.
Alive!
So
Rochelle, hold on. No. I believe one of the very reasons for the divorce is because of infidelity. Because the man could not keep it in his pants. And he want to go around the world and share this gift that he thinks is a gift. Sometimes it's a curse. Maybe it's not a gift to everybody that he meets. And that is the reason for a divorce.
Right? Rochelle, what if he could never keep it in his pants, but he just lied to you and told you he could?
People not stupid.
What if he thought he could? What if he thought he could, but he didn't realize how long forever lasted? Because forever is based on perspective, right? So
yeah,
like my forever could mean as long as you don't argue. What if I stop taking out the trash now, and you arguing with me about not taking out the trash when I'm paying all of the bills? Then that forever has come to end because you being the person you was has come to end.
Yeah, man.
But bro, you just said you stopped taking out the trash. So that means you also changed.
Okay, thank you.
Nah, this was my example of not taking out the trash is because I'm showing you a tiny thing versus a big thing. Now, if you are a person that is getting all of your bills paid for and you don't have to worry about anything, would you be more likely to complain about one thing that's not happening, like the trash not being taken out, or Rochelle? Or would you be like, you know what? I'm going to practice gratitude and realize I'm getting these 9 things and I'm not getting this one thing. And maybe I shouldn't complain, or maybe I should take out the trash myself.
But maybe
it's about gratitude.
But maybe it's bigger than just the trash. Maybe there's more going on. Maybe you'll go out.
Maybe you'll break up with this man, and you'll find another man that takes out the trash all the time. But guess what? Now you got to work harder to pay the bills because you don't got that same person. I'm talking about gratitude now.
But what is so big about, like finding a man to pay the bill? Why I can't pay the bill? Like So to me, I get it. I understand what you're
Get 'em,
saying,
girl.
right? But the thought process.
I said, get 'em, girl.
But the thought process is that women are ungrateful because the man is the breadwinner. How many cases do you really have where a man is the sole breadwinner and like women are just not working, right? Especially in the Black community, you don't really have a lot of that going on, right? It's not a majority. That is the unicorn that we should talk about. That's a unicorn. Many times, both parties are working. Many times, even if the woman is staying home, she still has to take care of the kids. And taking care of the kids is a full-time job that women are never compensated for because men cannot afford to ever fully compensate a woman for child care. Do you know how?
I think that I don't think that you should look at your child as
no, and that is why women.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you should look at your child as, oh, my husband is not compensating me for the amazing work I'm doing. Your child should be more like, this is an investment in which my child didn't ask to be here, and I'm going to put in my all to make sure they have an amazing life. And if I'm lucky, my child may become a millionaire and change my whole life forever. But it's all about the work that I put in. If you're looking at it like, yo, I'm putting in more work than my husband, then you're not following your function, which is what God made you for.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So I never said that women should be compensated. And a man is not following his function
if he's worrying about women more than he's worrying about chasing his passion and worrying about having multiple wives when he's not able to pay his own rent or have a pot to piss in, as my granny would say.
Okay, so you said several things that I try to address each one. So I never said a woman should be compensated for child care. I said that women are not compensated for child care. Men love to say, oh, she stays home. Okay, but what does she do when she stays home? She takes care of the entire house. She takes care of the kids, and she is never compensated for that. I'm not saying that women should be. I'm saying that they are not. Many times they are not compensated for everything that they're doing in the home, right? And then men are like, well, I go out and I work. Okay, but who's holding down the entire house, right? So
But also to not be able to leave your house and to hold down the entire house is also a blessing also, depending on who the woman is and how grateful she is or how ungrateful. Say it again.
Well, why I should be grateful? If the man told me to stay home and don't work, why should I be grateful for that? He should be grateful I'm staying home and not going out to work. Now both of us coming in tired, who gonna cook? Because if you come home early, guess what, baby? You gonna cook. If you go home early, guess who gonna pick up the child from daycare? You, right? So therefore, I don't think it's a matter of being grateful or ungrateful. It's just whatever situation you find yourself into where it's a consensus, right?
Rochelle.
Yeah.
I am sorry.
Yeah.
Did you just say you should be grateful that you're staying at home?
Yes, she did.
Yes.
Rochelle.
Yes.
So, just so I understand, hold on. Just
staying at home
Can I ask my question?
Staying at home. Hold on. Staying at home is more work than going out.
Let him say what he was saying.
Okay.
So you're saying that staying at home is the equivalent. Okay, let me create a figurative.
Finish the statement. Is that equivalent to what?
I'm going to. So, figuratively, I'm putting a line down the middle. On the left side, you stay at home. On the right side, you go to work. On the left side, you stay at home. You take care of the kids. You wash you do the laundry. You keep the house clean. Blah 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 blah. On the right side, you go to work. You come home. You cook. You clean. You take care of the kids. You go to sleep, you wake up, you go to work, you cook, you clean. and all everything that happens on the left side, which is you staying at home, happens on the right side. Only thing on the right side, you also got to go to work. So you're telling me.
Hold on, Joy. She said on the right side would be her coming home and saying, all right, who's going to cook now? Because
right. If he comes home first. I get it.
Right.
So I am asking her, because she made it sound as though either one is the same, and it's not. One of them, you're having a job, and you, even if you're not doing every single thing on the left side by yourself, even if y'all are splitting some of those chores, right? Him picking up the kids because he gets home early, and then you come home and then you got to cook. Or he cooks and you pick up, whatever it is. You're still doing some of them chores from the left on the right, and you after you come home from work. Or you got to do a bunch of stuff before you even get to work, and then when you come home, you're doing a bunch more. So you're telling me he should be grateful, not you. He should be grateful that you are staying at home.
Right.
I said what I said, and I'm going to repeat it. Staying at home is way more work than actually going into the workplace. Because
you're crazy.
Hold on.
Crazy.
Listen to, first of all, Dre, let me ask you a question. Have you ever stayed home for a lengthy period of time and taking care of all the housework and your kids?
Nope.
Okay. I have. When I gave birth to my second daughter, I stayed home, and best believe it was way harder work because the whole house had to be a certain way, had to wash dish every 2 seconds, had to do this, had to do that. When I go to work, I have less work to do, and at the end of the day, it's split 2 ways. So therefore, when I go home, whoever comes home first, gonna get that done, gonna do this, gonna do that, we're gonna split it up, and I feel less burdened, less stressed. So let me tell you something. He should be grateful when he finds a woman that is gonna put her career to the side, that's gonna put her pride to the side to say, you know what, let me stay home, and you're not gonna pay me, and I'm gonna take care of the house, and you're not going to pay me. I'm going to take care of our kids, and you're not going to pay me because it's our kids, right? And I'm going to do all of this work. And when you come home, I'm going to weigh on you hands and feet. He should be grateful, not her. She was doing him a favor.
This is exactly why a man should have a wife that loves to go to work and have a wife that loves to stay home.
Right. So now your excuse is that the man should have 2 wives?
I mean, we're bringing it back to polygyny, so I had to bring it back.
So listen to this. Here is why you were just talking rubbish, Rochelle.
Okay. To you.
So
I'm sure if we bring on other women, they're going to agree with me.
Eventually, we're going to be taking calls. And most of these women, I am sure, are going to be telling you, you're talking madness.
Get mad now.
So you're telling me, you now have 2 children, because you said your second child. You now have 2 children. Mm-hmm. You and your husband or boyfriend or whatever he was is going to work. The 2 kids got to get ready. Food got to make, lunchbox got to pack, all of these things got to get done before you even leave the house. I don't care who's doing it, you or him, and chances are it's you doing it. Packing all of this stuff, getting the kids ready to go off to school or to go off to daycare. Now you have done that even before you get to work. You work a full day of work. Let's say the guy goes and pick up the child from school because he got off early, which means you are working a longer day. You now have to fight traffic, you have to take public transportation, whatever it is, to just get home. And even that is a job. To just get home. So he picked up the kids. He, let's just say he got home early enough where he can cook. So he picked up the kids and cooked. Dinner is served. Rochelle just reached home. Oh my goodness, I'm so tired. Great, thank you, honey. Dinner is served. So now Rochelle don't have to cook. Rochelle didn't pick up the kids. Who going to wash up them plates? The husband too? Who going to put the kids to bed? The husband too? Who going to clean the house? Because the house still have to get clean. The husband too? Those chores that have to get done when you are staying at home all day long, still got to get done when you go to work. And when you're in a relationship where you and where you have multiple children, I am going to suggest that you are married at this position. And so when he's working, whatever comes in is coming in to the family. So you shouldn't have to be worrying about, I am taking care of the kids and not getting paid. I'm cooking the food and not getting paid. Because whatever comes into the household is for the two of you. It's for both of you guys. So, like, your whole scenario was just insane to me. Because it's not really, Ali brings in his muscle confusion and you bring in your unicorn.
So let me ask you, Jay, have you ever spoken to a housewife? Have you ever had a conversation with a housewife before?
Have I ever had I have conversations with housewives all the time. You got to ask me a specific question. Have I ever asked a housewife if she rather go to work or stay at home?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've never asked that.
Okay. So
I used to have
I'll tell you what though.
Hold on.
I tell you what. My wife has 3 kids. And each time she had a child, she stayed at home for an extended period of time. Right? She's now back at work. And I can tell you right now, if tomorrow I said, honey, you don't have to go to work anymore, she quit her job tomorrow.
I want to say something. I used to have a podcast with my soul cousin, and even though he was an asshole, one of the things he told me, I had a job for a couple of years where I was able to finish working at 12 in the afternoon, and I would start at 5 in the morning. And one time I was in the park, and he told me the most beautiful thing, and I really look back at it now. He said, like, because his woman, he wasn't working at the time. He didn't have to. His wife was at work, and we were both in the park with our kids. And he just stopped and said, like, yo, this is the real beauty of life here. It's not going to work. It's being with your kids.
Yep.
And I can look back to that time almost any point in my life, and I'll say, now, after my child's mother used COVID for me to not see her for 2 years, like me being around my child and her mother getting home at 7 from work, I won in that situation every time, because the winning of having a child fills your heart. Like, being around your child is so fulfilling to your heart.
Yeah, Mom.
Now, if you hate cleaning, then maybe y'all got to discuss a maid or get a second wife that loves to clean. You know what I'm saying?
You and your second
But as
wife.
far as being around your child, if you are a loving person, that should never be a chore to be around your child. It's the most beautiful thing. Well, my child, at least, she sings. She has an amazing voice. And I love to hang out with her. She's amazing.
So the problem was never hanging out with the kids. The problem was all the work that you have to do, right? So you have to understand, too, that staying at home is not just staying at home. It's a whole mentality that goes with that as well, right? If you are a stay-at-home mom, then society is going to tell you like your house has to be spick and span every single day, because if one day it's not, then it's going to be a problem. And that's just a mental thing, right? No, Andre, I understand what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. Being around your kids, it's beautiful. For the last 2 years, I was around my kids every single day, would not regret it for nothing. It was the most amazing time of my life. Just to see us, we grew together. We loved each other even more. Like it was just an amazing time. However, I still worked. You get what I'm saying? The point is not the kids. The point is everything else that comes along with that. Right?
All right.
Now,
that also goes into, hold on really quickly. That also goes into the man you choose. That goes into what society has taught you. I haven't been in a lot of mansions, but a lot of regular apartments and regular houses. I don't think I've ever been to a house that needs cleaning every day to the point where it's going to hurt somebody's head. Like, yo, I got to clean this house every day. But if you do, then you got to look at the man that you chose to have kids with and why you feel like you have to be so stressed out every day. You know what I mean? Like, cleaning should be 3-4 times a week. If you cleaning every day, that means you got some sort of OCD situation. If you cleaning that extensively every day, in my opinion, or you know what I'm saying?
Have you ever been in a Jamaican household, Ali? Because
that's what I said. It's the society.
Right. Yeah, it is a societal.
That's the same thing with Seventh-day Adventists. They'll make you feel bad for losing your virginity before you get married. You know what I'm saying? It depends on which sin you want to take on and which one you don't. We are the judge of our own selves. But let's go back to polygamy. So what's your takeaway, Dre, from polygamy as far as society in a whole and not just from the individual?
I think you bring up a good point that there are women out there who probably will go their whole lives without a man. And I think it's because most women out there are thinking, I want a man. And they're not thinking, let me say, they're thinking, I want my own man. And they're not thinking cooperatively as you are trying to put this idea out there. I think that if there are some people out there who believe that, okay, you know what? Because there are women out there. There are women out there who don't have a problem being the side chick.
Yes, I am.
Right? There are women out there who is like, yeah, I'll be the side chick. You keep him at home and deal with all the stress, and then I get the best of him when he's out here on the side, right? So there are women out there who don't mind that. So maybe, and there also are women out there who's like, I don't care what you do out there, just don't let me find out, or don't bring home anything to me, right? So that's literally the two groups, right? So, so the married woman, she's like, I don't care what you do out there, just don't bring home anything to me, and I don't want to find out about it. And then you have, he now just needs to go find, if this is his inclination, he just needs to go find a woman now who is like, hey, I know you got one over there, I don't mind being number two. And live happily ever after, right? I just think that because of the inculcation that women have had here in the West, most women think of me, mine, and for me, right? And so that kind of scenario isn't usually successful here because the women are thinking about themselves as opposed to cooperatively, as you're suggesting. I think, you know, if multiple women come together, like I mentioned earlier, and presented an idea to a guy, I think they'll find that a lot of men are amenable to these kinds of suggestions. But the reason it's not happening is because most women out there want their own man, even though there isn't one for everyone. Yeah, right. There isn't one for everyone, but they all want their own. So, but we did not factor in, as Rochelle pointed out, we didn't factor in the women out there who's like, look, I'm done with guys. I'm tired of the stress. I'm gonna just be bad or be good all on my own. Right? So there are women out there who are like that, who would be categorized under the single woman banner, but they're just like how the government deals with people who are looking for jobs. If you've been looking for a job for a year, you're no longer on the unemployment list. They take you off. So it should be the same way. If you're single for 10 years and you decide, all right, I'm not looking for a woman no more, you should be considered in the single women's list. So that would then shrink that 10 to 1 number a lot, maybe 30%, 20%.
It depends, though, because there's a lot of gay men. There's a lot of men that beat women. There's a lot of men that are incarcerated.
That's true.
But, yo, that was a great point. Rochelle, what do you think on this whole subject?
So, again, the way how I started is the way I'm going to end. If this man has some exceptional talent and exceptional body parts or exceptional money in the bank, he has to have some exceptional. He can't be no regular Joe. I'm sorry. And he is willing and able. Let me stress that again. And able. Because if he can't dance at your house, he can't dance at outside. You know what I'm saying? And you can't be walking around with no little body parts and want to share that with the world. Go sit down with yourself. So you have to bring something, not nothing, something. You know what I'm saying? Tangible. So this relationship, for me, to consider sharing you. Because if you're not really doing nothing here, how are we sharing? If you're only giving me 10%, we can't share 10%. You have to be 100% man for me to say, okay, baby, I feel you're so much a man for me. I think I need to share you with somebody. But up until that time, I'm not sharing my man with nobody. Willfully, willingly, no. That women have to go fend for themselves. If I find a man who can fulfill everything, and I'm just like, baby, woo, you too much. Tonight, you need to go to Sheila. I think Sheila could be with you tonight. Until that comes, no, I'm not sharing. Nope. I don't. As again, I believe if a woman wants to do that, she has the money, the means, and the will. Go ahead, sis. Go do what you got to do. And that's my takeaway.
Okay. So you're less concerned with the whole organism of Black people, and you're more concerned with the individual self.
Yes.
Okay.
I told you that, bro.
Similarly, if we looked at that in other aspects, that would sound like, I don't care about the earth and the plastic, because as long as I'm drinking bottles of water and I'm good and I'll be good for this lifetime,
totally different topic. Nope, that's a totally different topic. Totally different kettle of fish. No, I don't agree.
Okay.
No, I agree with Ali. What Ali's premise is for the Black society and society overall, because it's not a Black woman versus Black men ratio. It's a male versus woman ratio. So he's saying, for the sake of the society, maybe women need to team up so everybody gets to have. I'm trying to simplify Ali's complicated premise here.
Rochelle, you're alive.
Maybe women team up so they all can get to experience having the love of being in a relationship as opposed to them all only thinking about them having their own man, as opposed to them being in a relationship where they are loved and they, there's an exchange of love. What do you mean that's not a relationship? Yes, it is.
And
okay. First of all,
it may not work. It may not work, but let's also remember the divorce rate of monogamy is at 50% also.
What's the divorce rate of people who are polygamous?
That's a great question. I'm not sure of that number.
Right.
By law, it's not legal in America, but by practice,
I wonder why.
It was going on way longer than monogamy. Monogamy was actually put here by a king of England who didn't want his wife to get remarried or some crazy. I'm gonna find it up and bring it up on the next podcast.
You're wrong,
monogamy
brother.
was created in a very selfish way, which a lot of people don't know. Like the law.
But you
of
have
monogamy.
to remember, but you have to remember too that all these, especially in Africa, where polygamy was rampant. I think it still is rampant. These men provided for these women 100%. These women were not working outside of the home. These men were rich, and they took care of all their kids, all the women. These men were holding it down. They were the king of the home. And that is why I'm saying, in order for it to be successful, this man better come with some king-like ability. That's the point I've been saying. Mm-hmm.
I'm sick of you and Ali making everything about money.
All right, so yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what you just said.
I said, hold on. I said exceptional abilities. I said he has to come with something. He can't be regular average Joe. Okay, I said that. I said he has to come with
but just now you mentioned king.
Yes, because in Africa,
talking about his financial side.
Hold on, because in Africa,
let's play it your way, and the guy only makes 60,000, right?
Where he's going with that? He can't support nobody. He needs to go support his
girl. We still have the problem of the 9 women that are single. Say he can take 3 wives or 2 wives. Are you saying those 2 wives to just sit back and be like, yo, where's my money, or else we gonna be single and I'm not gonna have a man and I'm gonna hurt you by not letting you have a second wife and me being single? Like, is that the option? He has to be wealthy and there's no option for a woman to work and get hers, what she's just due to. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna sound very I'm going to say something right now. I don't think the man is that valuable.
You've been saying it.
Hold on. Honestly, I feel like you guys feel like men be on some pedestal or something. Like, first of all, in Africa, where polygamy started, the men that had several women, they had many goats. In order for them to get a wife, you better come with a dory. You better come with something to can afford my child. And then when you were able to buy her, then you know what? If you want to go have 6 more wives, at least I know my child will be adequately taken care of. My grandkids are going to be adequately taken care of. Me, right? Let's say it's me. I'm going to make sure I get mine. It wasn't no broke man coming around talking about, oh, let me give you half of a goat for your daughter, plus I'm going to go and get 3 more wives on top of her, and I can't even afford the 1 wife. That is how society was. Well, that's how it started. That's how men were. Hold on. So if it's going to be in today's society, I am standing by my premise. A man has to have, whether his penis has to be the most amazing penis in the world, right? Or he's going to have a bag of money to back it up. His tongue has to be working at 1,000%.
Target neutralized.
All of that for me to say, okay, you know what, you take him on Monday, I'm gonna get him on Tuesday, you take him on. If he doesn't come with, he has to come with something. He can come with no $60,000 for what? A month? I'm gonna share you, of course. But So you come in with no money, your penis not exceptional, your tongue not exceptional. What are we doing?
Tango down.
What are we doing? We're not doing nothing.
So his punishment. Okay, so his punishment for not having enough money. Listen, his punishment. All right, let me. I want to give my closing statements, and I want to say, men, be honest to women. Be honest to women. Be honest to women. As men, we need to be honest to women from the time we meet them, and be honorable to women.
Yep.
And don't lead women on. Don't, like Bob Marley said, don't unlock a woman's love if you plan on not staying.
Yep.
And what honesty does, similarly this, I've thought about this with Jamaica. If more people were able to be gay in Jamaica and be open with themselves, then you would have less men cheating on the side with their wives and going behind their back and being bisexual behind their back, because they will be able to be open. And similarly, if men are able to be honest, you will have less cheating also.
Yep.
That's what I want to say. I agree. Gwan.
The good black woman practices non-possessive loving. Now, y'all know that's a hard one. Now, envy is wanting what someone else has. And jealousy, of course, is just selfishness. Non-possessive loving is not an easy one for us to practice. And, of course, I have a lot of sisters and some brothers who are in disagreement with me saying that. But the actual fact is that our men are outnumbered about 5 to 1. And nature is going to require that the men take responsibility for more than one woman and her children. Most of our men have children by more than one woman anyway. So I don't know why that was such a surprise, allegedly, when I said that. The black man has not been waiting on me to tell him he could have more than one woman. You know, I'm in agreement with the rest of y'all. I don't think he should do that, but I feel like you did. There are some things perhaps about the nature of our man that we have been given some definitions about that are not true. There are some things he can do that we call him a dog. We do not have the same capabilities as a man. I am not talking about fornication and adultery. That's something else. I'm talking about actual responsibility of fatherhood and husbandhood of another family. That's quite different from fornication and adultery. We don't have the same capabilities of them. That's right. A man can have 2 homes, 2 sets of in-laws. He can eat dinner at 2 houses, 2 sets of children, 2 garages, 2 separate sets of friends attached to that woman. He can have all of that. We can't do that. We can't cook dinner at 2 houses. We can't sleep with one man 4 nights a week and another one 3. Ain't no man gonna agree with that. We can't have one set of children we leave in one place and go and stay in another place and take care of another set. It doesn't work for us. Now that does not mean that we can't have sex with more than one man. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just taking responsibility for your children.